Well, as many of you may have seen in news releases that came out of URAC last week on the 19th, the URAC Board of Directors has approved brand new health plan and health network accreditation standards. These, of course, are the standards that apply to HMOs in the case of health plan, and for health network PPOs, PHOs, and other network kinds of structures. These accreditation standards date back to 1995, when URAC started branching out from the world of utilization management, and have gone through now 5 revisions since those very first versions back in 1995. This most current version that was just approved won't be fully interpreted by URAC and released in interpretive guide format as we understand it until March or April of 2009. But we know a few things about the standards already. One of the things I'm most excited about is that it seems to me, from the communications I've had with people involved in the process, that URAC has sorted out the provider dispute resolution issue that's been problematic for many years. The issue, to save you from reading all the blog posts I've cited in this blog post, the issue is basically around what kinds of due process rights are afforded to a provider arguing with a health plan or network about something in certain kinds of disputes versus others. In other words, what kinds of rights, dispute rights, appeal rights, are afforded to providers in clinical disputes, disputes over quality of care or professional conduct, versus administrative disputes, perhaps whether they're submitting the right paperwork or arguing over a claim. URAC decided that there would be a difference several years ago in version 2.1, but sorting out how to tell those two issues apart became a problem, and then deciding what the due process for each of those levels would be became an issue. And every time URAC tried to fix it, it seemed to me at least to get a little bit more complicated. Well, to its credit, URAC has taken the issue on and sorted things out. As I wrote about several months ago, we had some suggestions for them as to how to make it simpler and easier for clients to sort out. It appears to us that most of those suggestions were adopted by URAC. We're very gratified that this long national nightmare is over. I think it's going to be an awful lot easier to sort out what kind of due process are going to be afforded to providers in clinical issues versus administrative disputes. Stay tuned. We're going to have an awful lot more detail about the health plan and health network standards as we learn more about them and as we study them more closely throughout the winter and into the spring. So make sure you subscribe to this blog so you stay on top of all of those changes.